This is an example right now of a 2-call close. Now, this first call was actually an initial call that I had, and I had just been traveling for like 30. Well, I had been traveling for 36 hours. I've been away from my desk for like 36 to 48 hours. I was traveling back earlier in the year from Cape Town to London, and, hadn't seen my girl for 7 weeks. So, took a day off. So I even tell this client, look, to be honest, I didn't get a chance to watch over the demo call. So this initial call is basically me stalling and just getting some preliminary information and then kicking the can down the road, basically penciling in that second follow-up call. So this call was actually before the call you saw before this and the one before that, like chronologically, in terms of when I had it in the year. So at this point, I didn't know about the whole it's not that I didn't know, it's just I never thought to use that whole put in a waiting room feature. I think going forward now, a lot of the 2-call closes that I've had have just been because I've wanted to stall and basically have some time to think about this and that. But now with the waiting room feature, in a lot of senses, I basically never have to do that. I can just, put him in the waiting room, speak with Danny for a few minutes, and then kind of reconvene. So, with no further ado, let's get straight into it.
I'm from Sweden.
Nice. Whereabouts?
Huh?
Whereabouts?
In southern of Sweden, a town called Helsingborg. It's at the bottom. Yeah.
Very interesting. Never heard of it before. Never been to Stockholm.
No?
Really want to go. I mean, Sweden just has the most incredible women, honestly.
I agree.
And then I've been to Gothia.
Gothia Towers.
Not Gothia. Gothenburg.
Gothenburg. Yeah.
For Gothia Cup, like 3 years.
Yeah.
I used to play a lot of football. Man,
nice.
it's so funny. I remember, I would ask girls it was like half about football, half about partying and girls and so I would ask girls what are you doing here? They're like, oh, we're here for 2 weeks because we traveled from the other side of Sweden to come meet British and American boys and French boys and this and that.
Yeah, I've also played at that cup actually.
Really?
Yeah. It's
a lot of fun. Anyways, just a quick heads up, going straight into this call. Won't be able to make you an offer today. This is just kind of a no pressure preliminary conversation. Obviously, Danny had the first 15-minute demo call with you.
Yes.
I'll just be 100% honest with you. I was actually traveling the last 36 hours. So I actually just didn't get a chance to watch it. Obviously, I always watch over demo calls. So as I said, I just want to get a bit of preliminary information from you. Then Danny and I can go away and speak about it. Now, from what I understand, you guys got 2 brands that you're working on and building. Kind of, where's the focus at the moment, and which one do you more specifically want our help with, or do you want our help with both?
So we have 2 brands, and the first brand is focused on the Swedish e-commerce market, and the other one is focused in the US. And we want to focus on the Swedish one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we have pushed quite a lot of revenue lately, and it's only like a month old, but we really see a huge potential here. So that's the one we want to focus on.
So you say it's a month old, but from what I understand, you guys are doing over 6 figures a month with it?
Yeah, we're doing yesterday we did about 35K in revenue.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. 6 months time, where would you need to be for you to consider a success, our partnership a success?
Do you mean revenue wise or?
Yeah, revenue wise.
Do you mean in the entire 6 months?
No, as in how much monthly?
Like $1 million. We want to aim 500K to $1 million. Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah.
Understood. So at the moment, are you just running the ads yourself?
Yeah. Currently, I'm doing all of the ads myself, but we have people that source videos and copywriters and stuff like that. So, but I focus on the advertising myself.
For sure. Awesome. How much time does it take out of your day?
Like 4 or 5 hours a day. Yeah.
4 or 5 hours a day. Wow.
I do a lot. Yeah, I focus a lot on it.
And are you the only founder, or do you have a partner?
2 others.
2 others.
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours a day. That's a lot.
Right.
So yeah, if you give me a breakdown, like let's say over the space of the last 30 days, how much have you guys, I'm assuming it's with the Facebook?
Yes, it's only focused on Facebook right now. Yes.
How much have you guys spent and how much have you guys brought back?
I can take a look right now on the exact numbers. Let's see. 1 second.
Nice.
So since the beginning, we have generated 200K so far, and we spent 60K on ads.
Awesome.
And that's in euros.
Amazing. And what's your guys' biggest seller on that store?
It's like LED spotlight, like when you can just put it like whenever you want. It's like
yeah, looking at it now.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what's the sort of skew on that? Is that bringing in like 50% of sales, 80% of sales? Like what's the distribution between the products?
70% at the moment. It's our biggest winner for sure.
Awesome. And then your second biggest winner?
It's we have the Galaxy lamp, and then we have, it's like a fireplace cabin, so to say. Yeah, that's also a winner.
Okay, amazing. But
we run about like 7 to 8 products right now that is performing good, so I'm just scaling from there.
And for example, with the spotlight, what's your margins on that?
We buy it for like $6 and we sell it for like 30 euros. So it's pretty good margins on that one.
Well, okay, amazing.
$6 with shipment and everything?
That's with shipping and everything, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, great. And your the lamp, do you know what the numbers are on that?
I can actually take a look for you.
In terms of margins and everything?
We have pretty much lower margins on that one, but I'm not currently, it was pretty good the first 2 weeks, but then I scaled it down a bit. Let me see, I can sort on the SKUs here. So actually the lamp is the third biggest winner. We sell it for like 50 euros and we buy it for around 20, 22, 23. So it's not the best margins on that one. And that's why we have scaled it down too and focus more on the spotlight, the LED one.
For sure.
Yeah.
Great. So you mentioned in your application that you've worked with a couple other agencies and had some not so great experiences. Can you touch on that a little more?
Yeah, we've only worked with one agency before and we were pretty satisfied with their work, but then we added them as an admin on our ad accounts. And one of the members in the agency got hacked on their Facebook. So they actually hacked our complete business manager, and they removed all of our ads, and we couldn't restore the Facebook accounts. So, and they didn't give us the money back too. So it was a very bad experience.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that. Now you mentioned in 6 months, you want to be at $500,000 a month, potentially even $1 million a month revenue. Is that as a business, or you want us to bring you in, $500,000? Maybe if you could, pinpoint a number that you'd be happy with, and then specifically how much you'd want us to spend, just so we can, kind of gather expectations, because if you want us to do $500,000 a month at a 7x ROAS, not sure if that's possible. If you want to do it kind of maintaining your margins as is, then it's definitely a conversation we can entertain.
We're definitely aiming for like 500K with a 2.5 to 3 ROAS. That's attainable for us.
Amazing. Understood. So, out of curiosity, you obviously it is taking a lot of time out of your day. But apart from that, why do you want to work with an agency?
Because I feel like I want to focus on growing the company without like managing the ads all day long. And I feel like there's more stuff that we're going to focus on now, and getting a warehouse here in Sweden and ordering a huge stock here. So I'm going to work a lot with that too. And then other parts of the business as well. Yeah.
Amazing. So, just out of curiosity,
Mm.
have you guys looked at expanding into different markets? You know, because
Yeah.
we've got clients come to us. You know, one that comes to mind 2 months ago, or actually, yeah, 2.5 months ago. You know, this client was just selling in UK, and we're like, look, I think we're going to do better. Like their entire business was just UK. It even had UK in the company name. And you know, we were like, look, we think you could do a lot better in the States. And you know, within the space of 2.5 months, the ads that we're still advertising the UK, advertising Canada, States, and Australia, but the ads specifically just from the US has 3 times what their entire business was doing when they joined us.
Yeah.
And you know, we love bringing taking clients, and we love pushing our clients.
Yes.
And going, hey, you know, maybe you're thinking a little too small here. So is that something you've thought about?
Yeah, we definitely want to go to other countries in Scandinavia, like Denmark, Norway, Finland, maybe possibly as well. But our main focus is Germany as well. It's a huge market there, and that's also why I need to work with an agency so I can start on working on developing the company into more countries as well.
You're a very smart man, because a lot of e-commerce business owners, they're doing good and they never get to great because they're so adamant on doing what someone else can do better. Exactly. And is what, you know, our entire life is based on this thing. Our entire life, my entire life, my entire company payroll, this, that, and you know, as you said, you know, we can't build new distribution channels for you. You know, we can't build an incredible company culture for you. We can't, we can't test price elasticity for you. We can't, find new winners for your store. Only you can do that.
I agree.
All right, awesome. So all of that makes sense. I'll be honest, it's all very, very reasonable. So let me go away and have a chat with Danny. I'll just be, put my cards out on the table. Okay. This is a very, I mean, you could not get a client that's more fits into our regular mold. Company coming to us doing 100, 150K a month, e-commerce, wants to get to 500K a month. This is pretty much what we do. Like this kind of fits our perfect mold. So yeah, next, the next call that we have, I'll go away, speak with Danny, speak with the rest of the team. But next call we have, I will tell you a little bit more, because, on the results side of things, it's a green light. Honestly, no issues here. Yeah. Only thing that's important to us is company culture. And that's really, really important to us. Like, actually, that's more important to us than anything. Because at the end of the day, we're not, we're not like a car salesman. I always say, car salesman, it's like you're sleeping with someone. With us, it's like we're getting a relationship. Because at the end of the day, we're long-term partners. And there's a, on your side, you need to enjoy working with us, and on our side, we need to enjoy working with you. And from my coming up on 5 years of having an agency, that's the only way I've ever seen it to work. And we have very, very good relationships with our clients. So we'll go over that on the next call. And then outside of that, we'll make you an offer. Just to be very honest with you, it'll be a low base. The way that we like to make our money is always on performance. That's kind of the way that we prefer to be compensated. So we'll make you an offer that is just kind of a no-brainer. And as I said, it's kind of based, the whole ethos around it will just be, we're very confident in what we can do for you guys, and we'll be compensated based on that.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and kick the can down the road. Let me just open up my calendar. As I said, I was traveling the past 36 hours, so it might be a little tight.
So, ladies and gents, that is a prime example of me stalling, because I basically knew nothing about the client going into it. and there's not much else there for me to analyze. But as always, try to leave these kind of as raw and uncut as we can without revealing any specific client information. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. I'll see you guys in the sales call aspect. So, ladies and gents, welcome back to the vault. Now we are getting onto sales call, and with no further ado, let's just get straight into it.
That is that. Perfect. So, as I said, last time I kind of didn't go through our normal sort of process just because I wanted to get a bit of information on where you guys were at, just have a bit of, a bit of a more informal conversation. But, really when we're talking to clients, we break things down into two parts. First is, ask you guys some questions, see where you guys are at, and see whether we can actually get you the results that you want. And really for you to also just set some expectations. Because at the end of the day, this is a partnership, and you need to be able to give us what we want out of this partnership, and we need to be able to give you what you want out of this partnership. And the second thing is culture fit. For us, that is super, super important. Now both of those have to be a green light, for us to offer you the chance to work with our agency. We've already gone through all of that, and as I said, watched through the first 15-minute recording, or actually didn't get a chance to watch it, which is why I need to have a bit more of that informal chat last time.
Yeah.
So we've kind of gone through the state of your business, and the good news is, on the results side of things, it's a green light, right?
So, ladies and gents, in the way that I always do, I kind of pre-frame the call by saying, look, there's two things that need to be a green light. First of all, results front. We need to be confident that we can get you. Well, first of all, we need to understand your expectations of what you want results, and we'll tell you whether we think you're being too unrealistic or not being realistic enough. So that's number one. And then number two is culture fit. So I always say those two things need to be a green light. And the culture fit, once again, that's a lot of sort of pre-framing of what's about to come, and kind of my way to get them to qualify themselves in a way that's not kind of cringy. And you guys always see that at the end. So let's continue.
That's really reflected on the kind of clients that we worked with, the caliber of them, the results that we've brought them. So yeah, a little bit about how we operate, so you guys can, aren't making a decision in the dark. Our number one thing is results, and the offer that we're going to make you today is not based on impressions. It's not based on clicks. It's not based on even a potential of, hey, we're going to come in and we're going to come in and we're going to maintain what you're doing. Really, the offer that we're going to make you today is only worth it if we can not only come in and maintain, but do a hell of a lot better. And we'll outlay that in a second. And we've done some incredible things for our clients. Here's an example return for one of our e-commerce clients. This is actually Oura Ring, our first 5 months with them. Granted, I will say the first month was primarily retargeting, and then from there, it was 80-90% of the spend was on cold. For education companies, once again, we've been able to do some incredible stuff. That's pure profit on the education company side of things. We're lean. I got a pretty small task force. Myself, Danny, Kieran, Luis. Rather than having 20 employees, I would rather have 3. And the caliber of my team, as I said, luckily with my brand and everything, and also just the reputation the agency has, we're basically able to attract the best talent in the world. Danny, fun fact about him, his background is in software engineering. So he was pretty much on a straight line to Facebook. And I had to do a lot of convincing and spend a lot of money to keep him at the company. So our talent, at the agency is well paid, very, very well trained. And yeah, as I said, kind of the best in the world. In terms of our lean approach, we have no office. It's funny, obviously the whole pandemic hit in 2018. Everyone's figuring out this whole Zoom thing and remote working. We've been doing that since 2018. We made a decision in 2018 that we wouldn't do any more face-to-face meetings, and we'd have no office, and we'd keep things lean. So that way you're paying for the retainer, and that way you're paying for the value that we bring you, not an espresso addiction, not for some swanky office so that we can look cool, so we can just focus on getting you the results that we want. And we're client obsessed. I think a lot of agencies out there, and one of the main reasons that people come to us as an agency is, unfortunately, a lot of agency owners are very one-dimensional. They only know what's going on in the ads manager. They don't know what it's like to spend, I know what it's like to spend 5-6K a day of my own money on ads. At one point we were doing that in 2019 for the education company. So like, I know that that's a daunting task, and I can help guide you through that process. We know what it's like to have businesses that do a couple $100,000 a month. And we know what it's like to, for example, negotiate Stripe fees down. Most agencies won't be able to tell you that stuff, or most agencies won't be able to tell you how to, even things when it comes to email marketing for your e-commerce agency. We have a list of 100,000 people for the education company. We send between 6 and 7 emails a week for that. So how to clean that list, how to keep it healthy, how to negotiate your Stripe fees down, how to improve landing page speeds. We're brought on, and our role is for paid traffic. And that's what we do, whether that's, as I said, we'll run your Facebook ads, your Google ads, your Pinterest ads, your YouTube ads, whatever we deem will bring you the best results, because whatever brings you the best results brings us the best results. And as I said, you'll see very shortly with the offer that we make you, our incentives are aligned, because really this deal only works for us if we improve what you're doing, and we won't get compensated on that. And I'll touch on that in a second.
Right.
Yeah, we run the business the way that we would want to work with an agency, which is onboard you really quickly and just not bother you, over communicate, knowing that half the time you're not going to watch the weekly looms that we send you. Half the time you're not going to read the updates that we send you. Half the time you probably won't even think there's a need for the weekly or bi-weekly calls. But we'd rather over communicate and just make sure you're aware of every single part of the process, because at the end of the day, this is your baby. So we'll over communicate on that side. But on the other side of things, we're never going to bother you for assets. We're never going to bother you for creatives. We do everything end to end. Once you onboard, that's it. Like, that part of your business is covered, and you can make sure, you can sleep well at night knowing that part of your business is covered. And we're not going to bother you every 2 minutes for emails or this or that. And right, the main thing here is you're handing this off to someone who's not only going to maintain what you're doing, they're going to do exponentially better. And that means that you can focus, as you said on our call 2 days ago, on the other areas of the business where you're the only one that can, you're the only one that can do that role. And no one, you can't hire an agency to do product development, to hire, to improve company culture. Really, all the stuff that a founder can only do, and really the stuff that will really take your companies to the next level. So that's pretty much on that side. Now, we're expensive. We're very, very expensive. And that's kind of because of the way that we operate: zero risk, infinite rewards. And once again, you'll see kind of with the offer that I make you, it's pretty much primarily based on performance, and not only performance, but performance on taking what you're already doing and improving it. And look, I'm not saying that I'll make you $250,000 a month return on ad spend like some of our clients, but as I said, with the offer, you'll see that there's no situation where you're going to be doing worse than you're doing right now. Is basically it. So yeah, that's that. Now, basically the last question that I have for you after I've talked your ear off, is why do you think you would be a good fit for our agency culture and the way that we operate? If at all you think that, we would make a good team and a good partnership.
Yeah. So with company culture, or the culture, what do you mean exactly with that? If you can specify the question a bit more.
Yeah. So in terms of company culture, I mean, as in from what you can see, the way that we operate, and kind of our company ethos, do you think that matches up and aligns well to the way that you guys like to operate? I'll give you an example. People that know me well know that I'm very, very into watches. And one of our clients, Kevin Rose, he was on the board of advisors for a company called Hodinkee. Now, if you never heard of Hodinkee as a client is literally my wet dream. Like, I could not think of e-commerce watches like Hodinkee. Like, anyone who's into watches, like Hodinkee is like their favorite brand in terms of like watch talks and this and that. So in 2018, I got on a sales call with them, and that retainer would have been around $15,000 a month. right? So from a financial perspective and from a, you know, it's so cool to get on a sales call with them. All the boxes checked. I got on a call with them. In fact, we got on two, and I decided not to bring on that client because from a culture fit, I could tell it just wasn't going to work because when we had to speak to them, one person had to approve it with another person who had to approve it. And that's just not the way we work. We like to be fast, lean, and focus on making you money, not having multiple layers of approval. So that's an example right there where, as I said, you know, there just didn't seem like there was much of a culture fit.
Okay, I see. So yeah, I've been working with Vince since we were 17 and we're 23 at the moment. So yeah, we basically started like the whole e-commerce business in high school, and like why I think it would be a great company fit for us because we're very like easy to deal with, and as you saw say as well, like we're definitely happy to give you the responsibility to outsource everything for growing our company with the ads, and we feel like we want to trust you guys, and so just let all of the control to you guys for the advertising part, and also with the over communication with the weekly meetings and the Loom calls and everything like that. We're very happy with that as well, and I think we're very easy to deal with, straightforward, and we're very serious as well, and that's I wouldn't have came to you guys if we're not serious in growing.
Ladies and gents, you kind of just saw the whole culture fit question at work there. And yeah, not much else to say there. You guys, you know, obviously for you guys, it's very, very interesting because you're seeing this kind of same flow again and again and again and again. Whereas for clients, it's the first time kind of encountering this.
You got any thoughts?
Yes, for sure. I totally agree with Jacob. We are two persons that are very easy to communicate with, and we totally agree with the culture that you have on with your company, with no office, and being straightforward in the communication. Just over communication is very important for us as well. Just keeping everything together. Just communicate fast and communicate around the business often is important for us as well. As you said before, it's like our baby, and it's always has been with the e-commerce. We have always been very, very passionate about business, working, not just working all the time, but working smart as well. So that's what I had to say about it. So
for sure. Awesome. Well, yeah, good news is, we feel the same way. So,
great.
Glad to hear.
That's a great news. So, in terms of what we can offer for you guys now, as you guys mentioned last month, you spent 60K and brought back in 200K. So that's around 140K spread right there, return on ad spend. Now, we don't want to come in and take ownership, or we don't want to take credit for what you guys have already done. So we don't want to take, for example, a percentage of return on ad spend for 140K when you guys have already done that. But we also need a little margin of safety because 140K could have been a fluke, quite frankly. So we need just a little margin of safety. So what we can offer you is £1,600 a month base fee. So that's just a tiny base retainer, and then from there we're only going to take a 5% return on ad spend of anything we bring you over 100K a month return on ad spend. So let me kind of break that down a little more. So as I said, right now, when we're like, for example, if we spend 50K and we bring you back in 150K, we won't take any percentage of that. We'll only start taking 5% of in terms of return on ad spend. So obviously that's rev minus ad spend. So actual return on spend our 5% only kicks in once we make you 100K that month.
Okay.
Right.
So for an example, if we spend 100K and we get 300K back, it's the 5% of the 200K.
Only 5% of 100K.
Okay.
For the first 100K, because you guys can already accomplish that yourselves. we don't want to take credit for that.
Okay.
So in that instance, as you said, if we spend 100 and bring back in 300, for the first 100K that we make you, minus ads, we don't take any of that.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, what you're seeing there, and I do this with a lot of clients at the moment, is I actually set a benchmark of what they're already accomplishing. So we actually don't, in terms of our performance fee, it only kicks in at a certain boundary. So this client has done 140K a month return on ad spend in the past. So our fee, or our 5% return on ad spend, only kicks in once we hit 100K. So they've done 140K. But obviously we need a little margin of safety, right? Because that might have been an exceptional month, right? So we say that after 100K, like the first 100K that we make you return on ad spend, we take no fee, right? We take no performance fee. And then from then on, we take 5% of whatever we make you, right? And this is, whenever you're speaking to a smart e-commerce business owner, and a lot of you guys may be pitching to e-com business owners that are already doing 150K a month return on ad spend. If they're doing 100K a month return on ad spend and you're charging them a relatively low base fee, in this example we did what do we do? I think we did 1,600. Yeah, 1,600, which is like $2,200. Let's say you're charging a low base fee, but you're charging a 5% return on ad spend, and they're already doing 100K a month return on ad spend without your help. You're immediately coming in and taking a 5K performance fee, right? So that's why a lot of times what we do is we set their benchmark and we go, hey, we're only going to start taking performance once we can do better than what you're already accomplishing. So yeah, just a really important side note that right there is when e-commerce businesses come to us and we're kind of doing things from scratch, when we're doing things from scratch, or we're building up from them up from a place where they don't have much going on. In those instances, we'll just do a flat 5% and no other stipulation outside of that. When a company's already coming to us and already doing a decent amount, then we'll do performance based on baseline, right? So whatever we can do above sort of a baseline that we agree. Very, very important right there. As I said, you don't want to be coming in and taking a 5% return on ad spend on a client that's already doing 200K a month, right? 10K performance fee for literally doing, a fuck all basically. So, just a little bit on pricing structure there.
We only take it from 100K onwards in terms of return on spend.
Okay.
Just so another example would be 100K spend, 350 brought back. It's 250 there that we would 5%.
Okay.
No, Danny, you mean 150?
150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what you can offer. And then it's a 6-month minimum. That's standard with us. So we don't take clients on for anything less than that. These days, 6-month minimum. And then from there, rolling month by month, you can leave anytime.
That's awesome. And so basically what we want at the moment is Facebook ads, of course. And so you mean that everything is outsourced. So once we sign the onboarding and send the payment over, like everything is automated, like with the creatives and everything like that. So we don't have to.
We'll do all of the, obviously all of the copywriting. So everything will be done on our end. As I said, even as we kind of mentioned in the last call, we'll even do things like test out new funnels. Like for example, for some of our e-commerce clients, we've done quiz funnels. We've expanded into different markets for some of our clients. That's one thing I mentioned on the other call.
Yeah.
We had a client that was basically had UK in their name, and they're a company called, and we told them, we're like, we think you could do a lot better if we start going to the States, Canada, Australia, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And the business owner was pretty apprehensive because they built the whole brand around UK and this and that. And we still advertise as UK even in the States. But from the point that we started advertising this, now month 3, we bring in more money through the States than their entire business did through ads. Than their entire business did as a whole in the UK when they first started with us.
That's
so
awesome.
Once again, that's something that clients come to us because we're not here to come in, take our base retainer, do the bare minimum. Like, we're going to push you and we're going to offer new suggestions and we're going to try things for you. Because at the end of the day, just to be very honest with you, for us at this stage, a £4,000 a month, like, we don't touch anything less than $4,000 a month in terms of billables. So our base retainer is inconsequential. For us, we want to test things and try things and push things because as I said, once we don't make any money on that first 100K that we bring you, you know, in terms of revenue minus ads, but we're trying to get you to fucking 400 or 500K a month, because that's when it gets interesting for us.
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
Sounds good.
And also, yeah, go ahead, Vincent.
Is there a problem for like we're Swedish and currently all of our customers are Swedish as well? I'm just thinking about the creatives in terms of copywriting and the videos and that kind of stuff. How will this be managed in Swedish?
Yeah, so we have clients in Finland, Italy, Germany. Basically, the way we do is we write all of the content, and then you guys translate it. Because then we can get a translator. That's possible. And we've offered that to our clients before, but every single client has just decided to translate it themselves. Because, you know, that's the easy bit, right? That's the easy bit is translating. Once we send you the creatives, you know, it'll take you, or once we send you the copy, it'll take you 2 minutes to translate it. The reason that a lot of times clients like to translate it themselves is because a translator will translate it word for word, or like, they don't understand your product. And it's almost nice that you add that the little cherry on top when you translate. You just put it in that. You know, we do 95% of the heavy lifting. That last 5% you can do, and it, you know, it comes out well, and it comes from you.
Yeah, in terms, you also ask in terms of the creatives on the onboarding, we ask you for like a dump of every sort of creative you have, and then we work with those. We do the edits if it's needed. We do anything that's needed inside of it, but we do need some sort of input on that end. Clearly, as you guys have the products or are able to have them in person, that kind of thing. So in that case, we do. But the way Iman said it's automated. It's because after that first Google Drive that you send us, we won't be needing anything else because we work with that. It's just that you won't be thinking, okay, does Media need more creatives? Have we sent it? What are they asking? No, it's already all in a folder, and we just use that.
Okay, that's awesome.
Sounds good.
Let me see.
And for like, we're testing a lot of products, and that has been the key, as this is a general store in Sweden. We sell all kind of smart and trendy products and gadgets that you can use to make your life a little bit easier. And the strategy we had right now is like testing about 2 products a day to keep finding winning products and be able to scale, because some products can die off after a few weeks, or sometimes it can last for months. But just about the testing, or is it we can test new products like every day, and that won't be an issue to continue test with new creatives and products?
Yeah, that won't be an issue with us at all. And if you guys need help with that, we've done that as well. So you guys can run your campaigns in parallel. We don't care. And also, if you guys want us to test a specific product, or you find that clue, or your campaign gave you that feedback that, okay, this might be a winner, you can give it to us fast, and we can put it up and see if it runs a scale, if it runs with another kind of structure, whatever it is. So yeah, both things work, and we have no issues with clients running their own campaigns in parallel, or testing, or sourcing products, and doing some retargeting to see if it works. That's fine with us.
Great. And how does it work if we want to move to different platforms? Let's say that we want to move to like Google or SEO, or how does that work with the retainers? That's still the same?
So SEO, for example, SEO we won't do. You know, it's within the realm of paid traffic. So we'll run your ads on Facebook, we'll run your ads on Google, we'll run your ads on wherever you want. Now that's the thing, we're not going to run ads on 8 different platforms at scale simultaneously, because you're going to get, you only ever need, here's the thing, to get you guys to 500,000 a month, we only need 1 cold source of traffic, right? So we're going to figure out which one works best, and then we can do some retargeting, you know, and cross-pollinate across multiple platforms. But for that retainer, we don't charge extra the different services. We'll do your
It's
retargeting.
just that it's taken into, like, if Google makes another 10 grand, and whatever we will, it's part of the revenue minus the ad spend of Google as well. So it's just another channel, but it's not extra, it's nothing, it just takes into the same deal.
Okay.
Once again, it comes into the theme of the most important thing is we're aligned here, and our incentives are aligned. You know, we don't get paid on, we don't take a percentage of ad spend. We don't take a percentage of revenue. We take a percentage of what we're making you after ads on the campaigns.
Yeah.
So if that means that, hey, we can make more money if we even run, you know, for some of our clients, we're even running YouTube ads. If that means that that's a better channel, and that's bringing in, you know, more net returns, instead we're on the same page here, right? Whatever's best for you, it's best for us, and whatever's best for us is best for you. So that's why kind of this structure works the best, and that's what we do with our clients.
That's awesome. Yeah, I really like the offer. Is it possible for just have a quick with Vincent, so we can just speak and
Yeah, for sure. I think is there a way to put you guys in a, or maybe just
you can split it into groups.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure there's a way to.
Maybe
Danny, do you know how to do it?
I'm going to
I'm pretty sure, yeah, you guys can do like a spin-off meeting.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's check.
Trying to see her as well.
Let me just
Maybe in that case, probably just hop off Zoom, give each other a call, or hop into another Zoom meeting, and then Danny and I will wait here.
Okay, awesome. Should we leave or just leave the meeting as?
I can call you on the phone, Jacobs, and we can just mute it there as well.
Sure.
Yeah, just mute yourself and turn off your video, and then come back.
Awesome. Thank you.
No worries.
So ladies and gents, what you're seeing right there is a reverse version of what I've done in the past with the waiting room. So yeah, obviously there's two business partners. So there's sort of more decision makers involved. So yeah, they just muted themselves, gave themselves like a regular phone call just to go over things and make sure they were both on the same page. Once again, it was nice because that meant that we didn't have to kick the can down the road and call, wait for a later date to call. So yeah. Let's see what they say.
I made myself I didn't know how long you guys would be, so I made myself a quick quarter stick of butter, 2 egg yolks, and MCT oil. Danny and I both do keto, so we have a lot of butter a day.
That's
nice. Yeah.
So I've had a talk with Vincent, and I think we're very happy with the offer that you gave us, and we want to proceed with working with you guys.
Awesome, great stuff.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. Actually, yeah. It feels very good for us.
Yeah,
and
I'm glad. Well, yeah. First of all, welcome to the agency. In terms of getting the ball rolling, here's next steps. We'll send over the invoice and get that paid on the call now. We'll get you set up on Slack, and then we'll also send you the onboarding link. Now, when I send you the onboarding, granted, I'll say it takes you 45 minutes, but that means that, for the next 3 weeks, we won't have to chase up and try to get an email and a password here and this and like, it takes you 45 minutes and then it's done. Okay. And then at the end of it, you'll book in your onboarding call. And, if you go through the onboarding today, you might even be able to book in an onboarding tomorrow.
Great.
So now I'll be with myself, Danny, Luis, and Kieran. And I said, that's where we'll come in and we'll have the initial onboarding call, and you'll meet the rest of the team, et cetera, et cetera. So first things first, we need to do today is get the invoice squared away and create you guys a Slack channel. Also, very convenient. Danny, his background is in software engineering, but Kieran's background is in law. So yeah, Kieran will just add the few little amendments to the contract, and you guys should get that in the next 30 to 60 minutes.
That's awesome. Perfect.
Perfect.
So if you could drop your company details here. So I need your registered business name, registered address, and then your VAT ID. And then I can go ahead and send that over.
Sure, 1 second.
No worries.
So yeah, ladies and gents, that pretty much wraps it up. Now this client ended up signing around like 5 weeks ago at this point. So literally today I just billed them. Unfortunately, their bank came back with a decline, a do not honor, because the thing is, actually, let me pull up Stripe. It is, let me tell you, I think it's 7,144 pounds. 7,144 pounds is our first month with them. So yeah, pretty good. I'll leave the screenshot as well of Danny putting it in the Slack channel to the client. So 7,144 pounds was just shy of $10,000, like $9,800 or something like that. But obviously with our base retainer as well, it came out to around a $12,000 billable in the first month. And Danny thinks in the second month, pounds, it's going to be around 15,000 pound performance fee, which is right around $20,000, I believe. A little bit more than that, actually. I think $21,000, $22,000. So overall, I think second month it'll be between probably around like $22,000 to $25,000 overall billable, which I'm actually a little nervous about, because like to get that already in the second month, granted, as you can tell, like our performance, like our deal structure is impeccable, right? The fact that like it's a low base, the fact that we only start making money past the point at which like what they were able to accomplish before, right? So like their benchmark was like around 100, best months, $140,000 in return on ad spend. So it's not like we're coming in and taking in any way credit or performance fee off of what they were already able to accomplish. So I guess in their mind, I guess that kind of puts me at ease, knowing that in their mind, they're not going to go, oh, well, we could do this already, because it's like, okay, if you could, then you would have, right? So I will say a lot of my past performance, I guess the reason I'm saying all this is because one of the biggest issues with an agency, or at least that we find, is once we get to a point, we've noticed that once we get to like 15, 20 grand in billable, that's when the client is like, okay, we're paying these guys multiple 5 figures a month. Like we could have an entire team and office for this price, right? But also with those clients in the past, we haven't had as solid of a structure here, where we only start taking performance off of a certain baseline that they were able to accomplish, right? And in all fairness, the founder did say, or the co-founder did say, he was spending 4 or 5 hours a day and he was only able to accomplish those numbers. So, hopefully I honestly can see this client getting to like a 40K billable, which, as I said, is scary, because I know in the past we've had the issue where, once it gets to like 20K, they're like, peace. Also, I guess in all fairness, we do have a 6-month minimum with this client. That's one thing we haven't done in the past, or that was kind of only last like 9 to 12 months at the point, really actually closer to like 9 months, we implemented a 5 or 6 month minimum. So yeah, long story short, I'll leave those screenshots as well. I'll leave the personal screenshot, obviously, that Danny sent to me. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty confident it'll be like a 15,000 pound performance fee in the second month. So yeah, pretty good stuff. And then I guess I'll also show the response. I think the client said that they want to scale to like, let me just pull it up on Slack, make it easier. I think when Danny put the performance fee, what is it? Came out, blah, blah, thanks for adjusting. Can I pay that manually? Yeah, no, it was actually on the other one. I hope we can reach 350,000 today. So here's a response saying the sales have been popping off today. Hope we can reach 350,000 today, which is Swedish crowns, which 350,000 in a day is around $35,000 in a day. So we're making this client just an aggressive amount of money at the moment. We're managing 10 ad accounts for them. So yeah, obviously it's very, very fruitful. And you guys are lucky, because you guys literally have access to Danny whenever you need him, right? There's Sunday calls are always available to you. And yeah, at any point you can go on there, share your screen, get feedback. And it's almost like you're working with our agency, right? You have, my CMO, genuinely, I can say this because of the level of talent that I attract, and I have a track record of attracting, right, at the agency, right? At the moment we're in the process of hiring, like it's nuts, the talent that we have available to us. And I can tell you honestly, Danny is hands down top 10, like at a maximum top 20 or 30 media buyers in the entire world. I can honestly say that confidently. You guys have access to them, right? And this is, as I said, this is the same mastermind that is behind us bringing in 20, 30, 40K performance fees, right? And I will say it's not common to go above 20K, but yeah, 20K, we've done it quite a few times before. So yeah, I'm not here trying to sell you anything. You guys are already CPA members. I just really sometimes it's like, I think you guys, the community we have in here, and I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but the community we have in here is so incredible. It's like nothing else out there. Because let's be honest with each other. Who else do you know who has a program that still actively runs an agency, right? There's no one really out there, or at least who's doing it at this level. So the fact that you have access to my team in that way, sometimes it's just like, man, it's I'm so happy about the community we've created here. I'm so awesome. I'm so like pleased with the awesome product that we've put forward to you guys. And the only, I implore you, the only thing that I will say is just use it. Like use it. You got this incredible community, these incredible Q&A calls. Like you have access to like people who are in the trenches, who are in the field every single day. As I said, like it's to actually learn from an education company that still actively runs. And as I said, not like as a little side thing, like that is pushing and growing every single month, and every single month is testing things and learning things and bringing it back to you. As I said, use it. And especially those Sunday calls with Danny as well. Really, I cannot state how powerful that is. Come on there anytime you want, especially for you guys that are got performance deals. It's like, he will help you put more money in your pocket, and you can see how freaking juicy some of these performance deals get. So I'm going on a bit of a tangent here, but hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
Welcome guys to the second video of the Vault. You guys probably seen the first, and if you haven't, I highly recommend you go and see that one first. The info agency ads. A lot of you guys might be only coming for the e-commerce side of things, but in that one I explain a lot of things that I'm not going to explain here, but that we do as well for e-commerce. So you'll see a lot of how we analyze the ad accounts in the past, and a lot of the things about structure and how we think about angles, extrapolate, and it's very, very similar to what we do here. I'm gonna skip that, so I hope you go see that first and then come back to this one. And let's get straight into it. So let me share my screen. A little bit of context. This client is an e-commerce, and as you can see, we've made over $1 million for them on the last 30 days. And here, just to get you excited before we intro everything, you can see some days we're spending up to $12,000 a day. Yeah, that's in dollars. I don't know if you guys see how you can standardize the currency. If you have another currency, you can change it. I'll go through that also on these at the end on the reports. But we manage 6 ad accounts for this client, spend around $12,000 a day. You can see it has its ups and downs, and each account sometimes spends more, sometimes less. But you'll see that this is the reality of spending lots of money, especially with many ad accounts and more than one product. And if you haven't managed spends for over, I would say around 4,000 a day, that's where it starts to get very different. You start to manage the ads fairly different. You'll learn a lot, and you'll get an inside view on what moving a lot of ads looks like. So you'll even run into problems that you can't even create more ads, or that you get to the page ad limit, which I think Facebook is going to remove. But at the time of this recording, it's still happening. And oh, by the way, this client before us wasn't spending more than 2,000 a day. So in a good day, they could spend 2,000. Now we're spending 6 times that. So into this session, we're gonna go over the structure of the campaigns, so how this differs from what I taught on the previous module, and how this structure is different. It has to be different. Now we're gonna go over the day-to-day on managing 12,000 a day, how many hours you have to be in there, how many ad sets you put on, how many ad sets you put off, how many campaigns, etc., etc. Then we're gonna go over the new ads library, and how we get inspiration, and how we are able to craft new ads. Finally, we're gonna see how you can manage multiple ad accounts at the same time, see what's going on, and have a more bird's eye view on the whole thing, because a lot of the times you can get fixated on one ad account and don't look at the others, or maybe it takes you too much time and you only want to see the ad accounts that are not doing well. You can go into it, and on these reports it will tell you exactly what's going on with each ad account and with each metric that matters. Also, at the end of the month, you have a raw deal that because we have one. You don't want to be summing each ad account or doing whatever else or changing currencies or whatever. You create a report, and that's how you see the whole thing. So yeah, let's get started on the structure of the campaigns. You might be asking how all the pieces of the puzzle fit together. How many campaigns are these guys moving? How many ad sets? How many ads? How often are they testing stuff? Here you'll see how the pieces of the puzzle dance together, and I say dance because they don't really fit. It's just a dance. It's just like sometimes you get something right, you get something wrong, but there's no like, okay, you fit the piece and it's set and now you're just printing money. Not really happening like that, unfortunately. Well, maybe fortunately, because now they need an agency to know what to do. So, well, here's the structure of the campaign. This is actually the same slide of the old presentation, if you've seen it. But yeah, let's think usual scenario. We have a campaign, it has a bunch of lookalikes, bunch of interests, bunch of broad ones. We have about 3 angles. So instead of 5, we do 3 because we have very different products. We have many products. We are not able to manage. If we have 8 different products or something, that the 8 times 5, that's 40 ads. That's too much to manage. So we have like 3. Here you can see this is a different type of campaign. You see it's campaign and 6 broad ad sets. So that's interesting. Yeah. And by the way, when I say only 3 angles, it doesn't mean that we are not testing new creatives every time, because for this client, we only run for 1 country, and the country isn't especially big. So sending $12,000 a day, you saturate the market pretty fast. So you have to be changing the creatives kind of often, probably every 2 weeks. You already need to be with completely new creatives. We're gonna zoom out a little bit, and the ad account will have multiple prospecting campaigns. You can see there's 4 prospecting campaigns, 2 retargeting. It's not this ratio always. I'm just showing that we obviously run retargeting plus prospecting. In this ad account, prospecting does even better than retargeting, but retargeting still pulls some sales at acceptable ROAS. So we still have it, but 90% of the ad account, 95% of the ad accounts are prospecting. So yeah, here are well, how those differ from our normal campaigns. So I have a scene to confess. I've been preaching all this time, and especially in the last module and all the Q&A calls, how CBOs are the devil and ABOs are what will ascend you into the heaven of media buying. But most of our campaigns here are actually CBOs, and that's the truth of it. So let's check out something. So 12,000 is the ad spend. 40 is what my recommended budget is like 40, 50, from 20 to 50. Let's say it's 40 to be a little bit on the upper end of my recommendation. And N would represent the number of ad sets. So yeah, that's an equation. Like if you multiply 40 times the number of ad sets, you'll get the total ad spend. So we want to be spending 12,000 a day at 40 per ad set. Well, I'll let you guys do the math, but that's actually 300. So it means that if we have 300 ad sets, each spending at 40 a day would be at 12,000. So does managing 300 ad sets a day seem realistic to you? The answer is clearly not, and I wouldn't have any hair if that was the case, and if we were managing 300 ad sets. I'm only 21, I don't want to lose my hair, I'm pretty chill, I don't let anything really get to me, so I won't be managing 300 ad sets, because that could be a lot of stress, a lot of work, a lot of turning on and off stuff, and probably lots of other client work will start to get neglected. So this is how we actually use CBO. So as CBO, because I'm still a huge fan of how we manage things, we treat CBOs as we would treat an asset in any other account. So it's just an asset with, I think about it as an asset with more assets inside. How do we treat usually an asset, right? It's like we first never add or remove anything from an asset. So we do the same thing from a CBO. We never add or remove anything to a CBO. And if it's underperforming, we just kill it right there and then and relaunch and all these other stuff. So we launch many. As you guys know, we launch a lot of assets. In this case, we would launch a lot of CBOs. We have over 400 campaigns across the 6 ad accounts. And, okay, so yeah, if we were to spend 2,000 a day or something, we would have lots of assets on that account. Not 400 running. It's just in the history we'd have probably 400 because we already turned off a bunch and turned on a bunch on as well. So you can see the parallel. Like instead of having 400 assets some on, some off, we have 400 campaigns. We're treating these CBOs as assets. We kill them on a 1-day window. So these products are not expensive, and if people are not buying them right away, they won't be buying them. And this plays a special role on the way we treat this ad account and how we manage stuff. That we'll go over more on that one. And the budgets of the CBO range from $50 to $600 a day. So as you can see, we have $600 a day assets. That's 12,000. Let me just do it here. 12,000 over 600, that's like 10, that's 20, right? So only 20 campaigns instead of 300 assets. So that's more manageable. And yeah, the attribution window is 1 day. So we've tested both. We've tested 7-day click and 1 day for this client. Well, it turns out 1 day is helping us way more. Like it's telling Facebook we need someone that will buy right away because this product is usually bought right away. So here are some of the numbers that you guys can steal. This is one of the ad accounts, and as you can see, there's like some campaigns with 42, 43. So you can see we're running lots of campaigns. This is only a 30-day or like 60-day window, and you can see. I just wanted to show this. So you can see each step of the funnel and the ratio. So you can see this is sorted by website purchases, and you can see over there 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the top on the columns. So the first one says click to page view. It means how fast the store is loading, how many people are dropping off before the store even loads. So as you can see, the average is 88%, and we're aiming for higher than 85% usually. If there's something wrong with that, well, this is actually very good. This is actually very good. Their store loads pretty fast, and that's because they have put a lot of things in place to make sure this happens. But for you guys to know, upwards of 85, 88 on the scale we're running, saturating the market. As you can see, 2 million impressions, 6 million reach, and this is almost 2 million reach, 6 million impressions. That's almost 3x frequency. For cold, that's insanely high, but that's because we're putting so much ad spend forward. Page view to add to cart, you can see a rough average is about 9%, maybe a little bit higher. This is very good, very good. So if you have 5%, that's good still. If your numbers are not this good, you won't be able to spend 12,000. Like you simply won't. So you have, because each small change percentage at scale will also scale. So the error, or like the going down a little bit, you could say, oh, but 1% isn't peak. Yeah, but 1% once you are going through 6 million people, it becomes huge. Once you have 100,000 clicks, 1% acquaints for, well, you can do the math. I'm very slow with math today, guys. 100,000 clicks, 1%, it means 1,000. So you're probably missing out on 1,000 people And if that's on the conversion rate, you already have 1,000 less purchases. That's insane. That's lots of purchases, right? So a little percentage change on this thing won't make you able to scale as hard as we've been able to. Add to cart to checkout, you want that over 90%. Depends on the product. As I said, this is cheap, this is fast, this is why we see these numbers. On other stores, we don't see any numbers anywhere near this on this metric, because a lot of the other clients we have, they are high price point, and we actually like high price point more. But this case it isn't, so that's why that percentage is so high. Initiate checkout to purchase about 65%. That's good. That's pretty good. So you can also be a little bit lower in that end. Again, if you're lower in all of them, then you have problems, because you stored now converts to 2%, 1%, and that's not good enough. You can see conversion rate of the store probably like around 5%, so pretty good. Now let's see the structure of the campaigns and how we are able to cram all that ad spend on that inside the ads manager. So yeah, this is how we coordinate them, which ones we turn on, which ones we turn off. So I decided to do some keys. Basically, you scale the same day if it's performing well, and you scale as fast and as hard as possible the same day. So if you see it doing well in the morning, you put a bunch more of those at the same time by duplicating and by having similar ad sets for that product. Go hard, very hard a day. So you could be spending way more very fast in the morning. Let's say as soon as I wake up, as soon as Luis wakes up, if something's working, we push it super hard. So we launch many more campaigns, we up the budgets, we go crazy. We are not looking as much into, okay, like, should we do small budgets and many? No, we just put lots of things up. This is a swing. Like some days are good, some days aren't as good. So you have to really take advantage of the good days. So if you see something doing well, you scale it aggressively by launching similar ads and many more campaigns and ad sets, because each campaign has a bunch of ad sets inside of them right away. If the first $100 spent brought you sales on KPI, then you launch $500 more, then 1,000 more, then 3,000 more, because you wanna be spending as much as possible, because tomorrow maybe not the same story. So that's one thing. Also, this means you also have some days you have lots of things won't be doing well, so you have to turn off a lot of things. But in that case, what we've learned is you don't kill as much and you don't descale as aggressively, because that will really take a toll on the account. And we hypothesize it's something with the pixel that now doesn't have this much influx of data, so it doesn't do as well. So you don't want to turn off as fast as you turn on, as fast as you launch. Second point, launch new creatives as you get them. So we test about 4 creatives a week with their corresponding copy, and this is per product. So we're testing lots of creatives and copy. As soon as we get anything from our client, we put it up, we test it, and they are very diligent and know they have to be giving us a lot of creatives. You don't have to test as much as we do, obviously, but just test as much as possible, as much as you can. Because if your client is providing you with creatives, test as many of them as you can. So we have to change creatives often, just because we are in a smaller market, and we saturate the market pretty often. Then don't touch anything once live. So we say that with the ad sets. Now we say that to the whole thing, because if you're using CBOs, you have to treat them as ABOs, as I said, and don't touch them. So it means don't go into it and turn off the bad ad sets. Don't go into an ad set and turn off the bad ads. Like once live, it's live. Don't change it. Don't touch it. And anything you want to be doing new, you have to do it like on a new campaign. Like that's the nature of kill everything on a 1-day window. So if it's doing bad, kill it the same day. We only look back 1 day nature of the product, as you said. Maybe you can go further if your product is more expensive, but kill everything on a 1-day view window, maximum 7 days, maximum. And test video ads. So good ads change the landscape. The main thing is having good video ads that are likely to be viral, that are exaggerated, that a good video will make your ad life so much easier. So yeah. Now, I want to touch a little bit more on the classification and what I said about not touching stuff and how Facebook works and why we have to launch so many things. And performance on Facebook isn't linear, and it is inconsistent, and that's the nature of the algorithm. So as you can see there, that there's an algorithm, and this is my speculation how it works, and I'm pretty sure it is how it is. So this is a classification algorithm on machine learning. As you can see, the machine starts all red and then starts like classifying and making clusters of each color and classifies areas. So this is what Facebook does, and I feel like they're running one of these models per ad or per ad set, most likely per ad. I think the optimization happens on the ad level, and I've been confirmed this by a few people. So that's why you sometimes get lucky and sometimes don't, because sometimes you get to the blue cluster, sometimes you get to the green one, sometimes you get to the red one, and some are better than others. So you get lucky sometimes, you don't. But how do you beat this luck? You don't want to be relying on getting lucky. So to beat the system, and that's just simple statistics, is you buy more plane chips. Like if you can launch many more assets, then luck becomes less of a factor each time. So the more you launch, the less chance will be involved, and the more it just becomes statistics. And then you just kill the bad ones. So you get the good ones, and then you kill the other ones, and that's pretty much it. So you have to invest a little, you'll get your winners, and you turn off the bad ones, and now you're not relying on luck. You're just doing like volume. Let's get into inspiration and how you can get good ads. So here's the new ads library. Before you would actually, on the old ads library, it was useful for two things. I would use it rarely. One, looking at competitor ads that you know by heart, so you have to know the name of the page, otherwise you're fucked. I don't know if I could curse on these ones. I think it doesn't matter. Or for prospecting, I know some of you guys for prospecting also go to the ads library to criticize some of the ads or to build, give them some ideas about it, or just to see if they're running ads. And maybe it could also work if you're bored and just want to see ads of big brands, but not that useful, right? So, not useful at all. So there's a new ads library, so that's very interesting, and we'll go over it now. So I have some cool examples here. Let me pull up my notes. So we have Facebook 3 as a bond, and this is the new ads library. So let's check it out. I have it open over here. We don't put Colombia because we don't run ads there. So we'll go all ads, United States, and now you can search for keywords. So let's do men's skincare. Now, I'll give you guys a couple tricks that you probably won't find anywhere else. And that's, you search for your niche. So let's say we're doing under eye cream for men. Now we see that there's competition. Sorry if that's loud. But you can see they're showing how to use it, blah, 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 with a man with very good skin. So you can see that kind of ad. So you can start learning about the competition. But one of the best tricks, this is also like skincare. They are using like a celebrity, I think. But the trick is you go down on this internet problem, but it should load properly. You just go down and see ads that have been launched a while ago. So if someone's running ads from January, it means that they are pretty good or they are working very well, because you don't have an ad that's not working running for
lots of months, right? Like no one does that. So you can see the ad details, and well, you can even go see their funnel and see many more things. No, it doesn't seem to be a celebrity, but oh look, it says celebrities. No, yeah, maybe it is. Well, yeah. First trick is just going to the ad and see all that. And the other one is those ones that say multiple versions. Other times have many IDs and it will show up here. So if they have many IDs, it also means that the ad's running very well and they just launched it a bunch of times and they're not sharing engagement. So you can also see that, and that's pretty useful. So yeah, let's go over, well, we already did things, so let's see like a very popular product, right? Like teeth whitening, I know it blew up sometime a few years ago and still moving lots of volume. So you can see the high smile and this product, and you can see, well, this looks like a good ad, so you can learn from it. But you can scroll down, as I said, and find some of the best ads. So this is like charcoal, so you can see different kind of products. Seems like some of them are saying that painless is better. You can see there are some ads running since January, since October last year, and more. So you can see all the ads and how they're running. So you can search your niche and see what's working, and that's how you get better inspiration now. So very, very useful. And yeah. Oh, by the way, if you go back a lot in time, just check if it's not retargeting, because if it's retargeting, then it's not as useful. Yeah. So yeah, now let's go over some reporting. So here, to make your life easier, managing multiple ad accounts at the same time, multiple products, you have to trace ROAS. You can create reports. So you go to your dashboard, and on those dots, you click them, and then you go where it says ads reporting. These reports, you can fix that annoying thing that Facebook updated with the different attribution windows that doesn't show you the totals of the accounts. You can fix that. Or if you have accounts with different ad spend, and maybe you can also do reports of your agency in general. So you go on it, and then you hit create a report. It will show you this window. So now you name your report and you select the ad accounts you want to analyze. For the feature of making the totals show, you need to actually select more than one ad account. So keep this in mind. And if you don't have, so for example, if you have a client that only has one ad account, select that ad account and an empty ad account. So, but you need to have more than one, at least two, right? So if you have more than one, you're fine. If not, like select your clients and an empty one. Like you can create an empty one or your agency one or whatever. So that's very important. So now let's create the report. So you select, once you create it, it shows you this thing. So you create a pivot table. Once you've created it, it shows you can explore the trend line and the bar chart on your own. But now we're gonna go over the pivot table, and you can customize on the right side your pivot table, as I said, with the metrics you want. So now we're gonna be adding conversion value. So where it says you see breakdown is blue on the customized pivot table. You go to metrics and you select conversion value. Yeah. So you see we did it. It says attribution setting, it says multiple attribution settings, and it doesn't show me the total. So that's pretty annoying. And now on the top left corner, that was my bad, you see it says the number of ad accounts, or under the name of your report, it says multiple attribution settings. So you click that, and it will show you a window that says a standardized attribution setting. So you turn that on, and you put 7 days click, 1 day view. You can play around with more. They have 28 days and other things. But once you do that, now it shows you the totals. So yeah, that's pretty useful. and you can play around with different attribution windows. You say if you put 28 days, it will show you way more conversions. So you can argue with your client that, well, they're getting even more value. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's Vault video. Hope you guys learned a lot. I put a lot of effort in these ones, and I think they're very useful, very insightful on what actually goes on with managing all these clients. And now you've seen the end-to-end, well, now you know like everything inside the agency. If you have any question about these things specifically, you can also turn up to the Q&A, and I'll be more than happy to answer those. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and see you guys in next month.
If you enjoyed that video, I went ahead and picked out another special video that I know you're going to find immensely valuable. You can find it right there. I know you're going to love it, and I'll see you in the next one.